Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's see here. All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Got a lot of folks here. Ariel Aces is moderating. Let's see here. We got Kakashi Sensei. Welcome, welcome. King Nacho, welcome. Turon83, welcome. Super Penny, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. All right. Let's see. Mr. Caballo is asking, hey, where am I from? Actually, so I'm from the US, but my dad's from Spain, and my mom's from Korea, South Korea. So from Cuba. Very cool, very cool. Happy Friday. Mo Hardcore, greetings from Dusseldorf, Germany. Welcome. Very cool. It's probably pretty late in Germany. What time is it, right? So it's 3 o'clock here. In Germany, you're like, what, 6 or 7 hours ahead? So it's like 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm assuming, where you are. We got folks from Brazil. Geeker Jr. All right. The island of Jersey City. Oh, is it Jersey, like, I guess from the, I know there's an island, I think it's an island. It's, what's his name used to be, was from there. Retro Future. The Jersey Island, I think, part of the UK. 9 p.m. in Germany. Got it, got it. All right, we got France, JB Maru. 20 o'clock, so that means it's 8, I guess. Yeah, 8 p.m. in Germany. Or in, I guess, your part of Germany. I guess there's maybe a couple time zones there. 21, so 9 o'clock in Greece. Chile. Oh, yeah, we definitely got a very international audience. I love it. Awesome. Where's anybody? We said we had someone from, I thought someone said they were from somewhere in the U.S. Your channel is very nice. High quality videos. Oh, hey, we got someone from China. Sunny KFC. 3 a.m. Man, it is super late. We're glad you're able to tune in. Hopefully you're, well, I guess it's the weekend, so yeah, you're good. Colombia, England. Yeah, so this is not a new project, but just gonna do a refurb so I can prep it for a mod that I am planning in the future. But as you can see, it is super duper dirty, and actually I was just noticing there's actually a few issues on the shell, but we'll take a look at it. All right, we got Texas. Matt Owens from Texas. Well CKY from Minnesota. And I thought I saw Arkansas. We got Super Penny 64 from Arkansas. Very cool. And then we got Columbia, Massachusetts, India. Very nice. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's get started, guys. So this should be a pretty simple video. Basically, we're just gonna tear into this. So already there's a few issues with this particular Model 3 Sega Genesis. So this was the last sort of official revision of the Genesis from Sega. But then there were some other kind of unofficial revisions, like I think Tech Toy from Brazil made a few revisions. But this one is in really rough shape, super duper dirty. And let's do the side so you can see it here. Yeah, it's just kind of really dirty. And if you notice, the shell is kind of cockeyed, a little crooked. You can see it's like shifted, and that controller port leaves a little to be desired, so I'm a little nervous about that. The other issue I noticed is that this reset button is stuck, and I have a feeling that's part of this being shifted. So hopefully this isn't totally damaged. Also, I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds like something is rattling inside. So we're gonna see if we're gonna tear it down, we're gonna clean it up. Hopefully it's not broken beyond repair. Like I'm hoping the PCB or the motherboard isn't cracked. Because it definitely seems like something, oh yeah, you can really see it there. Let me switch the angles here, but you can really see how there's a mismatch in the shell right here. So something definitely happened here. And this was actually donated to the channel by my friends over at the Computer Museum at System Source. Right here in, well, not here, I'm in Virginia, they're in Maryland, pretty close, they're really close, so. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can clean this up, get it ready for some mods in the future, for a future video. But yeah, I've actually never used a Model 3 Genesis before. This is my first time actually holding one. I've never owned a Model 3, so this will be pretty cool. Now there's a few, so obviously Sega really sort of cut costs with this unit. Wow, I'm actually looking at this thing is yeah, this may be a completely dead console. We'll find out here in a second, but yeah, this is very much at the end of the Genesis life cycle, and there's a few things. So I think this only, hopefully I can use my AV out. I have my AV out here, which is from a Model 2 Genesis, and then I have a power supply. I'm using an aftermarket power supply here. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to, oh, you know what, let's give it a shot. Let's try to power it on at least. I actually haven't even tried to power it on. But let's see if this will even do anything. Oops, there we go. Hold on a second, make sure I got the right input here. Yeah, it should be composite. We're doing composite. There we go. Composite, okay. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't even know, oh, okay, well, it's, oh, hey, okay. All right, there's some video. That looks horrible, but let's, let me try putting in a game. Okay, oops. All right, well, at least it works, I guess. But let's see, I got Shinobi here. Let's put that in. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna clean, I have one of these cartridge cleaning, or this is like this one-up card thing here. This is to clean the contacts on the cartridge connector. And basically you just insert it and remove it repeatedly. Oop. And this should clean the contacts. Let me show you what I'm doing here and get you a better angle. Hold on a second. Okay, so basically I put that in, insert it. Yeah, that's the thing I'm concerned about. So Dusty Reaper is saying, make sure that the button isn't, I don't know if that's stuck down or not. We'll see here in a second. But let's go ahead. I just cleaned it a little bit. We're gonna put in Shinobi, and let's see if it does anything. Oh, okay. So we're getting a rolling. That's bad. So this may, at a minimum, require a recap. Interesting. Oh yeah. I mean, it looks really bad. Okay. So well, let's clean this up first. So we have a nice sort of canvas to work with. And then we'll go ahead and further assess. I might have, but no, Model 3, it's probably gonna be different, so. All right, so let's go ahead and let's tear this bad boy down. Okay, I'm gonna unplug it. At least it works, that's good. I was a little concerned that it wouldn't even be working, but it does work. Uh-oh. So something just came out. Oh no, what is that? That looks like a button. Where did that come from? It looks like one of those like metal domes for one of those clicky buttons. It literally just came out of the I feel like it just came out of the console. I don't think that'd be the reset button. It's too small, but I'm gonna hold on to it and see where it came from. But anyway, okay. Let's tear this down. We need a different. Oh, is it the reset? Oh, dude, that'd be bad if it's the reset button. Ooh. Yeah, this thing is like in really rough shape. I'm having a hard time unscrewing this. This is not the right screw head. Let me try a slightly bigger one. Nope, that doesn't even work. I think that's the only size I got, but all right. Feels like it keeps on sort of skipping. Well, you know, I don't even think this screw is not even unscrewing. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, I might need to get a different screwdriver. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, I don't even think that screw was unscrewing, so it might be a completely stripped post. So, okay, this one seems to be unscrewing. That's good. All right, so that one comes out. Is there a screw in there? There is a screw in there. Okay, this also appears to be coming out. These are pretty recessed, so you do need a screwdriver that can go pretty far in. Okay, that comes out. Let's see if this one comes out. Okay, you know, I think I know maybe what happened here. I wonder if sort of the screw, it got like shifted and broke the screw post. Oh, no, it's still sort of connected. I wonder if I apply a little bit of pressure while unscrewing, if it maybe will come out. Up. What mystery does this hold? Look, dude, look how bad that is. How is this still attached? Something's going on here. I don't know what. Here, I'm gonna stick a little piece of plastic in here, and I'm gonna be applying a little bit of pressure, so that might help me. This is, okay, that's not really helping at all. Oh wait, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that. That got completely, and you're right, it is the power switch dome. Yeah, someone was in here. Yeah, this screw post is completely toast. We'll see if we can maybe fix that. Wow, this is something. Actually, I'm gonna try to basically I think that screw post was spinning. There we go. Got the screw out. Oh, and the post came with it. Yeah, that was completely warped. And oh, and look at that. That post for that is completely damaged. Yeah, I don't even know if this is savable, to be honest. I wonder, you know, I wouldn't be surprised maybe there's like a 3D printable reset button, because yeah, dude, like this post is completely damaged. What would be cool is if I could save the button, cut this post off, and maybe glue a different screw post on there. That might be my best bet. But yeah, this looks like, yeah, someone said run over by a car. I could see that. Yeah, no wonder it's like, but hopefully, but yeah, and actually it almost looks like, here, let's take this apart a little bit further. Here, let me get my magnetic screwdriver holder. So again, I don't want to So these are all the exterior screws right here. Yeah, so this was definitely extremely damaged. I don't know if maybe it got, because yeah, I think if it got ran over, this top shell would have been a lot more damaged. But anyway, let's dig a little bit deeper here. It looks like there's only one. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that are holding the RF shield on. We might be able to bend that back into shape. But yeah. Let's see. We're gonna definitely try to fix this thing. I got a good feeling we can do it. Well, it works, but obviously, as you all saw, the video was less than ideal. So I might need to get a capacitor kit to recap this. I'm actually curious to see how many caps this thing has in it. Yeah, this thing is all bent out of shape. Completely bent out of shape. Am I out of focus? There we go. Let's see, it looked like I was a little out of focus there. I wonder if somebody tried to go in this. Yeah, because the reset button looked pretty bad. All right, I don't want to mix this up because that's a different color screw. So let's see if we can. And it's a different color screw because it was going into a metal piece. So that is a machine screw, so that'll be easy to identify. All right, so this should come out. Yeah, dude, look at that thing. That got completely bent. We should be able to bend that back. I'm confident we can bend that back. The board looks intact. There's that reset button, which is complete. Actually, I might have a replacement for that. I have a whole bunch of buttons. I'm going to see if maybe we can replace that, at least, at a minimum. But yeah, I might get I mean, these caps, I mean, they look fine. Yeah, all right. Let's take the motherboard out. Okay, so someone said, is this a VA1? I don't know if this is a VA1, to be honest. I'm not sure if they even had revisions. I don't know how many versions of this there are. All right, so we got, which screw did I took out? I took out that one down there. I'm gonna take out this one here. Wow, so those are different. Okay, so that's interesting. This screw is longer than this screw, so I'm just gonna make sure I keep them in order, which should be easy enough to do. And then there's just, oh, hold on a second. Oh no, wait, I got this from the cartridge reader, because yeah, it's longer, so the cartridge, yeah, gotta make sure I keep that. So these are the 2 cartridge ones, and then this is just a single screw that was right there. Fair enough. Okay. So this should just pop right out. Yep, that pops right out. Yeah, this little controller, if you look right here, you can see it's a little bit damaged. Let me see if we can get that focused. Honestly, I think we could just bend that back out. If that doesn't work, we could just break that piece off. I mean, we won't really notice it, but I think it'll be fine. Because I'd rather not replace this whole thing. That'd be a real pain in the neck. But overall, this looks like it's in pretty good condition. But as you can see, switch the angles here. The reset button is completely mangled. Completely mangled. And this little dome is supposed to go, I guess, right on top. So you can kind of press it, even without it. But I'm gonna actually see if I have a little replacement. Yeah, and maybe we can replace that button. Even though it does still press. So, are we sure that that might be fine? Actually. Not sure. I mean, it does look like it would have sat right on there. but how is it attached? I don't know. Okay. But overall, it don't look too bad. We'll clean that up. And we're gonna clean this up as best we can. Yeah, this thing is nasty. Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna bring all, okay, actually, before we move on, I want to clean this. Oops. Or disassemble this shell a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look here. I'm gonna take this button cover off. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can 3D print this reset button. I'm gonna take a look online real quick. Bear with me, and I'm gonna see like Sega Model 3 reset button 3D print. Yeah, maybe not. Reset, no. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, hey, if someone in the chat, if you could find just a Model 3 reset button, let me know. Because that'd be cool. It does look like something that could be modeled. I mean, at a minimum, I'd like to at least just replace this stem here, this little stem. So we'll see. Oh, Wes has the entire shell. Does he have the separate? Maybe he has a separate button. I think it's too early. I think it's probably really early for Wes right now, because I know he's in a different, completely. I mean, he's in Australia. Oh, hey, David DeGroot, 7631. Thank you for the super chat. Good job, sir. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take out these flaps here, and they appear to be, I think you can just, can I bend them? They're not screwed in, but I think I can, oh, I don't want to break these. How are these installed? I think they do need to be bent slightly, which that's unfortunate. Oh, please don't break. Please don't break. I might just keep them in there. I mean, they are pretty flexible, but they move slightly. Very wary of bending this. Oh, wait a second. Ah, I see how they come out. Oh, no, maybe not. Spoke too soon. Spoke way too soon. I thought maybe they could clip. I wonder if I could maybe push it out without breaking it. Oh, actually, is that how you do it? I was gonna say maybe you can push this tab. Oh yeah, that's how you do it, I think. It's a combination of pushing the tab over to the side without breaking it. There we go. And then it just comes out the other side. Okay. Yeah, so basically the way you take these out, again, you gotta be very, very careful, is you see this tab, so obviously the rod sticks out a lot on this side, but on this side it sticks out way less. So you can actually move this tab over to the side while pushing this to the left. And then it should pop right out, hopefully, without breaking it. Oh, mighty, that's nerve-wracking. Especially with plastic that's aged. I'm just very gently Please don't break, please don't break. There we go. Okay, and it didn't break. Fantastic. Okay, so we got the flaps out, and then I'm going to take the power switch off as well. And we're going to run this over to the sink. Now, the interesting thing, my sink, the water flow is really bad for whatever reason, so I got to call a plumber in to get that looked at. But we're going to head over to the sink to clean all this goodness. And yeah. All right, so I'll meet you guys over at the sink, which is here. I just got to remove the cover. Bear with me a moment. All right, so we are over at the sink. Can you see me? You can see I got water in here already, but if you look, that is the flow of the water in my sink. I don't know what happened, something happened, but we're gonna put all this in there, let it soak. Is this paper? Yeah, actually, so this is not like the usual Mylar material, and I don't want to damage that. So what I might do is I'm going to spot treat and kind of clean it ad hoc, and then I'll put this in there. Okay, we'll let that soak there for a little bit. I'm going to put gloves on. Hold on one second while I get some gloves. Okay, actually, I'm going to pull up the chat here so I can hopefully see it while I'm cleaning. I'm going to pull it up here on my tablet. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Oops. And we got the stream. Okay. Turn the volume down. There we go. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't want to drop the tablet in the sink. Yeah, oh no. Ugh. Oh well, that's fine. All right, so this should be pretty quick. There's not a lot of components here. Oop. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead, we'll start with these. So what I like to do is, you know, probably a lot of people have seen me do the Sega Saturns. I did like 3 of them like this. But I like to use a little bit of dish soap and give them a little bit of a clean like this, and let the suds soak up a little bit, you know, kind of latch on to any dust and debris, and then I'll rinse them off last. All right. And we're going to try to bend this. Oh, actually, this is pretty thick metal. It might be a little bit difficult to bend. And I think my neighbors are actually getting their water heater replaced, because I can hear it through my walls. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how this thing sustained so much damage, but at least the motherboard appears to be in pretty solid condition. Clean this button. This is the power button. This is the really dirty piece. Now the other thing we're going to probably do is also, the board was a little dusty, but overall it still looked very, very clean. But we're just going to give it a dusting with an ESD safe brush. We're going to do that here in a moment. But once we give this a good clean, then we'll take care of that. But yeah. Yeah, it's too bad the shell got incredibly damaged. But I do think it's savable. Unfortunately, obviously one of those screw posts really got damaged. I don't know if I'm going to be able to really put that back in, but we'll see. And I may need to rinse this. Actually, no, I can probably do it right here. Let's get into all the nooks and crannies here, especially on the top. There's a few designs here which can definitely harbor quite a bit of dirt. So we'll leave that like that. Actually, what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to quickly soak it, try to avoid the sticker or the label in the back as much as possible. Yeah, unfortunately. So I'm just going to kind of go around the label as much as I can. Yeah, because this is kind of a much cheaper. Everything about this model is cheaper than the Model 1 and the Model 2. Even the label they're using is kind of more paper-based as opposed to like a plastic Mylar, which means you really can't soak it very much. But we don't care too much about this one because this is pretty damaged, but we're gonna do our best to get it as good a condition as we can. Here. I think we got the bottom. Yeah, I'm just avoiding the label as much as I can. But I think that's pretty good. I think it's about as good as we're gonna get it. And what I'm gonna, okay, oh, we have one more. This is the really damaged reset button. Yeah, it's a shame. Actually, what I might try to do is maybe use my hot air gun to maybe warm the plastic to see if I can at least maybe bend it back a little bit. That actually might work. Yeah, we'll see if that works. I'm not too worried. I mean, I don't want to melt the thing, but we'll give that a shot. All right, so these are all cleaned. So let's go ahead and give it a rinse. I'm gonna give like a preliminary rinse in the water like this. And I'm going to rinse it with some regular water. The only reason why I'm doing it this way is because again, my faucet, the flow is not very good, unfortunately. And then I'll show you guys a trick that I use to dry these much quicker, especially the screw post, where you want to get all the water out of the screw post, at least as much as possible. You want to completely dry before you install the screws, obviously. So, okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of run some fresh water just to get rid of any residual soap until I get this faucet fixed. And not quite sure what's happening with it, but at least we'll get as much as the soap off as we can. Yeah, I agree. The Model 1 Sega Genesis is my favorite. I mean, really, the Model 1 of any console is kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's usually those are the consoles that the manufacturers put the most money in. Usually has the most things on it as well before they start removing them later on. So yeah, Model 1s tend to be kind of my favorite de facto. I'm trying to think of a Model 2 that I like better. Honestly, I really can't think of any. Like even like the PS1 Model 1, then they had like the PS1 smaller one. That's pretty cool, but I like the OG one better. Okay, so everything's pretty much cleaned. And we're gonna kind of pat dry most of these items. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna pat dry the bottom where the label is. I'm not gonna, swirl around because that'll ruin the paper. You just wanna pat dry, or maybe around it, you can go ahead and be a little bit more aggressive, but you wanna be careful with the label, especially if you're opting to try to keep it in the best condition as you can. Now, if it was a Mylar plastic one, you could be a lot more, you could be a little bit more rough with it. But we're gonna try and clean, or get rid of as much water as we can before we hit it with the compressed air to really get it nice and dry. And I'll show you how I do that here in a second. I used to actually, way back in the day, used compressed air cans, which obviously is not the most efficient way of doing it. But back then I also wasn't refurbing as many consoles as I am now. So what I use now is an electric kind of air gun. I have like a Makita one. It's like a power tool, your basic power tool type. And it does a very good job at kind of removing most of the moisture. And then as a last step, I actually still do use compressed air because you can really get in tight spots with it, with that little red straw that they usually come with. And at least the button's cleaned up pretty nicely. Yeah, that looks much better than it did before. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, look, this shield isn't too damaged. It's got a pretty bad bend right there. But I'm just like trying to figure out what the heck happened to this thing. Especially this one. I'm gonna try to bend this one back right now. Since I have this microfiber cloth, I can kind of, so I don't have to cut myself. But let's see if we can, oh, actually, yeah, that's not too bad. Actually, I might need a hammer to really, to really get into here. But bending, like this piece needs to be bent back, so let's try and bend that back a little bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. And bend it this way. I'm going to drain the water. But yeah, this is actually, it is pretty thick, this sheet metal. Let's see. Yeah, I might need to use a hammer to really get into it. Actually, I might be able to show that on camera. Yeah, let me see if I can get a hammer real quick, and we can hammer it out slightly. Oh, do I have a hammer? I might not have a hammer. Oh, okay. Actually, I have this. This might be perfect. I have like this like plastic tipped hammer. So I wonder if I can. Oh yeah, that's kind of working. And then if I bend that way. Actually, that works. That actually works pretty good. let's see here. So obviously that needs to come a little bit inward. And that needs to be bent slightly out like that. Same with this. That needs to be bent, but it's like, it's very tight in there. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, but but yeah, it looks a little bit better. Yeah, the part that's really bent, that's going to be very, very tough to. It's just really hard to get in that little corner. I hope my neighbors don't get mad at me. But it actually looks quite a bit better. Let me see, what do y'all think? Yeah, I wish I could do it before and after, but yeah, no, that needs to go up a little bit. This needs to come out. That's not too bad. It's a little bit straighter. I mean, the other thing is, I mean, this probably really doesn't even need an RF shield, but getting that as flat as I can. It'd be nice if I had like a small block of wood that I could like kind of place in there. And then while I have this, I'm going to try and get that bend out. I mean, I can probably almost do it with my hand. Actually, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was a little bit bent, but that's not too bad. Yeah, it's much better. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's all pretty much in this corner right here. But I think we got a lot of it out. So yeah, I think that's gonna do for now. Cool. All right, so let's clean this up a little bit. Oh yeah, so before we move on, I'm gonna dust the board with some ESD safe brushes. I got this one here, and then we got this one. I mean, thankfully the board is in not too bad a condition. It's actually not even that dirty, to be honest. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dust it anyway, especially around the cartridge connector. It's where a lot of dust tends to accumulate, as well as the AV connectors. Nice thing with these brushes, they get kind of in all the nooks and crannies. And I like doing it into a sink because the kind of like the wet surface absorbs the dust, and so it doesn't go flying everywhere. So once it hits like a wet surface, it just gets stuck on that wet surface. So we can get kind of in between all the capacitors, the buttons, various adapters, And yeah, oops, I really bent that capacitor. But yeah, I think maybe this might need a recap. So I might pick up a capacitor kit from like Console 5. Should be a pretty simple, straightforward recap. Oh, and then I'm gonna see if I have the button to sort of replace this one. Even though I feel it still clicks, so I feel like it'll still work. But yeah, so this is clean. Let me get inside of the button contacts here, or sorry, the controller ports. There's a little bit of, and this is a very nice little ESD brush. It really gets inside. I like using it for these applications. Just gets all that dust out. It agitates it and it just comes out a little bit nicer. Okay. And then get rid of any of that. Yeah, I can't believe, yeah, my sink is just completely broken. Ugh, that's annoying. But we'll get that fixed. Need to get it fixed. Okay, so this board is clean. I may kind of look at the solder joint. I mean, the solder joints look good. So yeah, I don't know. It must be a, I'm thinking it's probably a, we're gonna add some also deoxit into this power switch here. Hold on, I'm gonna see, I have a bunch of switches here. I'm gonna see if maybe one of these will fit. I'm gonna bring them over to the bench. Yeah, none of these probably will. I'll bring them over to the bench, but I'm not too confident these will. Oh, actually, no, I might have one. Yeah, hold on. All right, so let's go back to the bench. And let's go to the overhead table. Okay, take the... So, this is the board, and here I got a whole bunch of buttons. And I just saw one set that looks like it could fit. Was it in this one or was it in the other? Oh, no, it's right in here. Yeah, so these, so I have these. And I'm gonna take one out and place it next to the button there. I think it might occupy, wow, that's actually super convenient. But I have a feeling the button still works, so I'm not gonna replace it. Obviously I don't wanna replace it if I don't need to. But here, oh dude, that's like a perfect, yeah, let me show you guys. Let me do a close-up here of this button I got. So, okay. So the one obviously, so there we go. So this is the original one. And this is another one. And it looks like it'll fit in that same profile. So I might just do a replacement since this one, oh yeah. Oh, that is, I mean, the dome still works, but I can see it might come off. Yeah, let's try and replace that. Should we replace it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna replace it. Let's see if it works first. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna take this out. But let's go ahead and plug everything in to the board as is, not inside that case. I'm curious to see how things look. Here's my game right here. So let's go ahead. I don't think it'll make a difference, but let's just go ahead and see. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in Shinobi. Let's plug in the AV cable. Come on. Okay, and then let's plug in the power. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that's not working at all. Oh, wait. Oh, that's interesting. It's plugged in, that's plugged in. We're in composite. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, so we're still getting like that scrolling video. That's probably, but here, let's see if the reset works, the reset button. Oh yeah, reset button works. Okay, so the reset button works. It's just in really crappy condition, so I think we're gonna replace it, but it does work though. Yeah, yeah, no, they're pretty, yeah, the electrolytics are crooked. I don't think that's gonna make any difference though. Shouldn't make any difference. That's interesting. Yeah, this is definitely something we're gonna recap, but let's at least replace the power or the reset switch, because yeah, that is pretty crappy. Now I'm trying to think of a good way to, I guess I could use hot air. I'd prefer not to. Oh yeah, that's a good call. So, Curry Tiger is saying to maybe look at the area where the damage was, which was in, here, let me switch the angle. So the damage was in this area right here. That's where the dent was. Obviously the controller port, actually let's see if we can bend that back out. Wow, that's gonna be challenging. Might need to use some pliers. I have a feeling that's gonna, it's just gonna kind of break off, but let's see if we can at least bend it out. Oh, that's not too bad. Hey, that's not too bad. Let me see. I mean, you can see it's totally cracked right there. I almost feel like just trimming this section off. But it's actually not too bad. Might be able to just leave it. It's actually not too bad. Trying to reform it back, but hey, that's not too bad. I'd say that's fine. Yeah, actually that's a good call. Low melt solder might be the best bet there, and just low temp hot air. Actually, what I might do is just add low melt temp to each of those pads, and try to heat them all up with my iron. Actually, I'm gonna give that a shot. Let's see if we can do it that way. Let me bring you a little bit closer in. All right, so I got my low melt solder right here, and turn on my soldering iron, turn on my fume extractor. All right, so this is my low melt solder. It's I'm using Chip Quick. Okay. We'll put a little bit of flux on there. Actually, so there you could kind of see, but the dome, it's so bad. The dome is about to come off there. So you see that's like over the dome, and then there's the actual dome itself. So actually, I'm gonna just take those off so it's out of the way. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, the button was completely destroyed. So let's go ahead and apply a little bit of flux to the area. And then we'll add a little bit of some chip quick. And this is some very like, has a very strange like melt property. It's, yeah, you can see it's like very, kind of, it almost looks like kind of like a cold. So I'm just gonna kind of rub it into each one. So it mixes, yeah, and you can actually see it's coming off. I just need tweezers. Get underneath. Oh wow, holy moly, it's still molten and it just came out. Do you see that? Now the trick to removing, that was actually way easier than I thought it would be. All right, so let's put that aside. So the way I remove chip quick is I just use solder braid. So I add more flux to the area. Okay. And then just go ahead and clean it up. And actually some of like the residual that sticks in, you can actually just clean off with like isopropyl alcohol. Let me cut off the part that's used. Yeah, so kind of a lot of material, so you have to just kind of remove. Come on. There we go. And that's, for the most part, pretty clean. We'll add a little bit more flux. There we go. And it's perfectly clean. Then we'll just take a Q-tip with a little isopropyl alcohol. And you can actually see that that's some solder that's just coming right out, but yeah, this board is actually kind of dirty, so we'll clean all around that area. And you can see kind of that's picking up quite a bit of dirt. All right, so now we have like a very clean surface to add that button to. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. There's no real polarity on these because these are just momentary switches. And look at that, it's like the perfect footprint. I can't believe I have that, something that fits so perfectly. That's fantastic. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna basically tack in one side. And when you just tack in the one side, you can make sure everything is perfectly straight after. By just kind of, yeah, so there we go. So that's nice and tacked in. Actually, that's perfect. It didn't even move, so I could just go ahead and solder in all four corners now. Usually it kind of moves a little bit when I do that, and I need to make a small adjustment, but that actually worked out quite well. And there we go. We have a new reset button. Just like that. All right. Okay, so unfortunately, just because this was sort of, what would cause a rolling, sort of a rolling image? I'm trying to look at these like, I mean, you know, there's no crack in the board, so I think the board is fine. Yeah, other than that, I mean, and to be honest, the capacitors are very nice looking. Like, they're not leaking or anything. But again, I mean, the Sega Saturn that I recapped just the other day, earlier this week, that also looked fine. All those caps were not leaking either, but replacing them fixed the video issue we were having with that. So it's very possible that this just needs a recap, which is fine. And I'll probably do at a later date, but at least for now, this is somewhat usable, I hope. And let's go ahead and clean the shell. So let me, or dry the shell rather. So let me bring those pieces over. Let me clear some space here on the desk. But yeah, we got rid of that button. That was, I mean, it was more of an aesthetic thing, but also the dome was on there very loosely, so it's better to kind of just put another one on there anyway. Okay, let's all this trash, the old button material. All right, so that's pretty clean. All right, let me get the shells, and I'll show you sort of how I dry it, even though it's actually pretty dry. But this always helps using the compressed air. So I'm going to grab my Makita compressed air system. I'll probably do it mostly off camera. Actually, the way I'll do it, I'll show you, just so I don't, since I have a lot of stuff on my desk, I'll go to the just chatting view and kind of just show you how I do it. I just basically I just do that, and it gets rid of like 99% of the moisture. And then I'll show you the last step I do. Actually, we're going to try the hot air to see if we can bend this straight. I'm not confident, but let's give that a shot. I've never done that before, so we'll see if that actually works. Okay. And let's see if we can... Yes, I'm curious if we can... Yeah, let's see if we can bend that just slightly. I'm going to lower the temperature here on the hot air. I think it's like set to 400. But if we set it to like maybe 100, let's see here. Yeah, 100, maybe 120. Okay, so that's set to 120. And the way I'm going to do it, let's see here. I'm going to get my pliers and some tweezers. All right, so here are the pliers and the tweezers. Okay. So I'm going to kind of hold it like this and blow it kind of away. I'm basically just going to heat that up, let's see, and see if we can just slightly bend it. Just want to get it, you know. I'm just trying to heat up the stem here. And then I'll hopefully soften it just enough so I can bend it straight. Because it's bent like a pretzel. Not super confident this will work. It doesn't seem like it's really working. Yeah, I'm not sure like how ABS is, because I'm sure this is ABS, but not sure what's a good temperature to. I have it at 120 degrees Celsius. Let's warm it up. Hey, Super Penny 64. Thanks for the super chat question. Do you like SpongeBob? You know, I never actually really watched much of SpongeBob. I think that was probably a little bit, I'm a little bit too maybe old for it. Because that was Nickelodeon, right? I was more of the generation of like Hey Arnold, Doug, Rugrats. Never really got into SpongeBob. I really don't think it was around when I was younger. I believe it was Nickelodeon, right? So, yeah. Okay, oh yeah, so ABS, Google says it becomes bendable without melting at 100. Okay, yeah, so I have my hot air set at 120 degrees Celsius. So, let me see here. What would be nice is if I could actually, let's see here. Oh yeah, oh that's bending. Oh guys, that's actually working pretty well. Oh, okay, maybe that was a little bit too much. Oh, that's really straightening out pretty good. Let me see here. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, that's much better than it was before. I'm gonna heat it up a little bit more. Oh, that's not bad at all. I just gotta get the angle right. Hey, look at that. That's much straighter than it was before. That's not bad. Okay, let's try that some more. Actually, I'm gonna try it more towards the base, because that's kind of where it needs to be straightened a little bit. That's not bad. Let's see here. I grew up with SpongeBob and some of the earlier Nick cartoons because they had them on VHS and DVD. Yeah, I even remember when DVD was brand new. I'm wondering, actually, yeah, how old are people in the chat? I'm pretty close to 40 here. And yeah, so I remember DVD when that was a thing. Flat screen, plasma televisions. I remember like the rear projection televisions, but yeah. Actually, I need to increase the airflow a little bit, I think. There we go. Okay, so people, wow, okay, yeah, so people are about my age here. All right, good. Yeah. Right on. Right on. Yeah, SpongeBob I feel like was a little bit new. When was SpongeBob? When did that debut? Because I honestly do not remember it at all when I was younger. Oh yeah, we're getting old, folks. We're getting old. All right, okay, that. I think that might be warm enough. Wow, I mean, I'm actually kind of impressed by how much we were able to bend this back without really damaging it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I honestly can't believe this worked as well as it did. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I mean, look how much better that looks. I wish I had pliers that weren't curved. That would have helped quite a bit. I'm actually really kind of stoked that this is working so well. Now the thing is, I need to make sure it's angled properly so that it actually touches the button. But yeah, no, we've straightened that out quite a bit more than what it was before. Yeah, the thing is, it cools down pretty quickly. So let's, I'm only gonna, yeah, I'll do this a little bit longer, guys, but yeah, because I don't want to waste your time, you guys watching me melt plastic or, you know, soften the plastic for too terribly long, because yeah, I imagine this is not the funnest thing to watch, but this is a pretty cool technique. I mean, I didn't think it was going to work this well. I might actually use my tweezers. Those are pretty flat. I might use my tweezers to try to straighten this out. Can you guys see that? Is that too dark? It might be a little bit too dark. This is some pretty robust plastic. It's, I keep on thinking I'm gonna snap it, but thankfully it doesn't. I mean, I think it's pretty strong too. I think that's pretty solid. Let's see. Yeah, all right, let's see how that works. I mean, the other thing I'm concerned about, if it's even lined up. Now, actually, it's funny, you can even see here. I'm not too concerned about that. I could maybe glue it later, but you can see this little ridge. And it's hard to see on the black plastic, but there's a ridge right here that's pretty much broken as well. But yeah, let's see what, here, how does this go in? There we go. Oh, hold on. Wait, how does this go on? What the heck? Excuse me. I'm trying to put the button back on and having a little bit of issue. Does it go under this? I feel like it goes under this. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's put that on. Actually, I'm going to do a little test here. Yeah, let's start to put this together. All right, so that presses, which is good. We can put the power switch on as well. That slides pretty smoothly. Okay. Oh, we got to put the cartridge, these cartridge. Yeah, you can really see right here this little ridge. You can see it's kind of, you know, completely broken. I think, yeah, I could reinforce that with some like epoxy and maybe some sort of like tissue paper to kind of like composite get behind it, but I'm not too worried about that for now, so we'll leave that be. But I do want to put the cartridge connector on. So how does this, so this is the bottom piece. And this should just, let me make sure, there we go. Okay, it should be just a matter of, there we go, sliding that in. And that's the bottom piece, looks good. Then we'll put in the top piece. Let me switch the angle here so you can see what I'm doing. Putting in the cartridge. Oop. Want to make sure the spring is actuated on that little ledge. There we go. And then we're gonna pull this, pull this tab like so. And then we're just going to kind of pull this tab. There we go. And it should just pop right in, and there it is. Okay, so we got the little flaps in. Easy peasy. All right, so now let's put in the bottom RF shield, which goes like this, I think. Yeah, goes like that. So this is, before we screw things in, so let me show you how I remove the, so we got to screw this in. So let me put this in here first. Oh, is this even going to fit because of the, oh yeah, oh, fantastic, it does. All right, so, okay, so that goes in. But before we screw the, so I got to put a screw in each of these, and I just take the compressed air, and I blow in a little bit of air, and that'll blow out any residual moisture that was in there from when we clean the shell. Perfect. All right, so for this, we just had the 2 cartridge connectors, I believe. We got 1, and then we got 2. I mean, this is already much cleaner than it was before, and I believe this went in this corner here, like so. Then we got the top RF shield. Here's the top RF shield with that damage. Let's see how that fits in now that we kind of straightened it out. That's a little bit better. I mean, just a little bit better. It all fits in there kind of nicely. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. The holes pretty much align. Let me get a different. Oh wait, where's my other Phillips? Oh, here it is. Or JST. I'm not actually sure if these are actually JST, but okay, that goes in pretty smooth. Certainly can't complain about that. Not bad. That goes in also pretty smooth. Hey, okay. All right. Yeah, these, you know, it's not a perfect alignment. It's pretty good. Not perfect. But these, yeah, screws are going in very smoothly. Now, of course, we're going to have the issue with, obviously, I'm going to hold on to it. I might glue it in, but this screw post broke from the top shell. So obviously, we won't be able to use that one screw. But here's the major concern. Let's see if we got this aligned with the reset button. All right, so that's in the down position. Oh, actually, before we close this up, I'm going to put a little bit of deoxit into this switch. Let me change the angle up for you. I kind of like doing this. It basically removes any, not that we had issues with the power switch, but I'm just going to put a little bit of deoxit in there. I'm going to flip it. Put a little bit on the other side. Yeah, there we go. And then basically I'll just kind of bring it back and forth. That'll remove any oxidation and then keep it from corroding in the future and giving it just like a nice solid connection. So. Okay, so I think we're good with that. Okay, let's see if we kind of have the reset button resolved. Okay, so the shell fits. That's good. Let's see. It doesn't feel like it moves, which is good. I mean, that's already an improvement. So the switch moves. I don't think it's aligning with the... It needs to move a little bit to the right. So I'm going to slightly bend it. Let's see if that does it. Oops. See. Okay, that. Yeah, it's missing the button. I don't feel the click. I'm trying to see how it's lining up. Maybe it's too forward as well. Or, you know, maybe it's not going down far enough. That could be an issue as well. I'm trying to think of a way I can sort of test that. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like it's... It might be. I mean, let's test it out. Let's test it out real quick. So this actually look at that. We were able to really fix that controller port. It looks much better. Remember that piece was really caved in there. Okay. Actually, one thing I'm noticing is, yeah, this is not setting all the way in. So that might be also kind of... Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's... Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot here. All right, I'm going to go to the capture card. And let's see if... All right, so... Yeah. Oh! No. Yeah, reset button is not working. Yeah, it's not hitting anything. Okay. So we know that's not working. Definitely the console's a lot cleaner, which is nice. Yeah, I wonder why. It's you know, it's really hard to see, like, where is it misaligned? Is it too far back? Is it too far forward? It may just not even be reaching, which is a problem. Or it could definitely be an issue of it's not, let's see here. Yeah, I'd like to get the reset. Actually, I have a feeling it's just not, it's not long enough. Like it kind of got chopped a little bit. So I wonder if I can like maybe just make, because it looks like it is aligned. It's definitely, I think, aligned with the button. As best as I can tell, it certainly looks like it's aligned. It just doesn't look like it's reaching. The one thing I did notice though, this, you know, actually that might be it. If you all remember this little dome right here, that, oh, let me switch the angle here. This little dome, so there's a dome on the button. Why is that not focusing? There we go. But then this was on the dome. So I wonder if I maybe like glue that on. I'm gonna glue that on, and that'll give it like a little bit of height. And maybe it's just enough for it to get pressed. And actually, you know what? I know a good way to test that. I'm actually just gonna set it right on top without gluing it. And we're gonna see if it is able to press, because I really wanna get the reset working, to be honest. Oh, actually, that's, yeah, someone's mentioning, I wonder, yeah, we haven't even really tested if the reset works. So let's test if the reset works. That's obviously a good thing to test. Because, yeah, maybe that's not even just working, even though I can physically feel the button is not clicking. So let's plug it in. Switch the, there we go, capture. So we'll flip it on. Why is mine? Let me get rid of the menu. There we go. That's weird. Oh, now it's not even powering on. Well, that's weird. Now it's not even powering on. Wait, do I have the right input selected? Yeah, composite. That's weird. Let me hit the reset button. Let's try that. Where's my spudger? Wait, is it up power? Yeah, up is power on. It's plugged in. And the video, let me make sure the video's plugged in properly. Let's see here. Okay, that's plugged in. Okay, there we go. So we got no signal, right? Okay, that's weird. Let me put a game in. Power that on. I don't think the shield completed the ground because we tried it without it when it was completely out of the case. That's really weird. Let me make sure. Yeah, all the things are plugged in. Fine. Let me remove that and then plug it back in. Because sometimes my Elgato card is a little wonky, even though the blue is there, which means it's reading the RetroTink. Oh, let's see, do we? That's very odd. That is very odd. I mean, the power switch is plugged all the way. The other thing I don't like about this model is it doesn't have one of those like indicator LEDs. Let's see, do a continuity check on the reset button. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, let me turn this off. Actually, hold on a second. You know, since we did put all that deoxit in there, I mean, I shouldn't have done anything. And then we'll see if we're getting power also. Let's see, it worked before. It did work before I replaced the button. Let's see. We all got quiet when you turned it on. We're tuned in. Check the voltage regulator. Yeah, that's true. I could check the voltage regulator here. But I don't think it would have just failed. Yeah, it's not getting warm. Also, oh, wait a second. You know, no. This is also not the real power supply. This is a, but we can see if we're getting voltage in, and then we can check the power regulator. I just can't believe that would have done. Okay, all right, let's check it. Let me change the camera angle here. All right. All right. Let me get my power supply, or my multimeter, sorry. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's first check, I'm gonna unplug it. Let's first check for continuity on, it's gonna be a little bit hard to do. There we go. Since I have to hold, okay, let's see here. Okay, so, all right, so obviously these won't be connected, but then when we press the button, yep, the continuity is there when you push the button. So let me just show you how I'm doing that. So I'm putting these two like that, oops, on opposite ends. And then when you push the button, maybe it's these two. All right, so those are, oh, wait a second. Yeah, wait a second, hold on. I wonder, no, it shouldn't be. So when I push the button, but then these two are, it seems, are connected. That's weird. Oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe this, oh, that's interesting. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, we're gonna remove the button. That might be it, because I'm wondering if it's the way the button is oriented, it's the other way where it's making continuity. Wait, yeah, because, actually, yeah, so this way, yeah, so here, so if I'm holding it on these two pads, these are not connected, but then when I push it, let me see, maybe not. This is really hard to do. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically these two and, sorry, let me zoom in. So basically what's going on, these two pins are disconnected from these two pins. And then when I push the button it bridges it together. What it should be is these 2 pins and these 2 pins should be disconnected, but when I push the button, they connect together. But unfortunately, it appears that they're connected. They're the same, which makes sense. And then these are the same. But then these 2 are not the same. Can you guys see that? Let me change the angle here so you can get a better look. So yeah, maybe it's a constant, it's basically stuck in reset, which is why it's not turning on. So these buttons do not work, unfortunately. So yeah. So basically what we want, if I can show you here, these 2 pins should be separate from these 2 pins. And then when we push the button, it momentarily connects them together. And that's what causes the reset. But what we have here are these 2 are connected, which means it's constantly in reset mode. And then they're separate from these 2. And when we push the button, these 2 sets connect. I think that's what's going on. So if we remove it, which I'm going to do, this should then work, I guess. I should have tested it before we got this far. But, it is what it is. So let me go ahead and... I guess I'll use the... what do you call it? The chip quick again. That worked actually really, really well. I was surprised how well that worked. Yeah, the button's incompatible. It's switched. The pulls are different than the other one. So yeah, actually here, I can show you. This is the old switch right here. Yeah, actually, let me show you here. So this is the old switch right here. And let me get the old dome. So it only works with the dome. So let me put the dome on it. But actually you'll see here, here's my multimeter. But basically, and actually I'll put it next to this button so you can get a better idea. All right, so, all right, we have this button here where if I contact these 2 points, they should be disconnected. It's going to be very difficult to do because it's not attached to anything. But yeah, so I'm touching them. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. So I'm touching them both, but they're not connected. But if I touch these 2, they should be connected. All right, I might not be able to do this. Yeah, it's just not attached to anything. Let me just test it myself here. I have a little bit more control. Actually, no, they're not connected. Actually, no, those are connected. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So I think that button's actually correct, guys. So let's check the voltage. All right, so I'm going to take the motherboard out. Let me take the motherboard out. Let's see, so I thought it would be, but based on the way this is working, it seems like it's correct, guys. The button should be correct. Yeah, so let me, actually, no, I can leave it in. I'm going to leave it in. So let's plug it in, and let's see. So I think the center pin, okay, let me change the angle here. Center pin is ground, I believe. Yeah, G ground, so in. So let's see how much we're getting in. So we'll do ground and that. So that's ground. And then out. Hold on, am I oh, whoops. Jeez. Had that wrong. Okay, so this is in. So yeah, we're getting 8 volts in, right? I don't know if that's the right, correct. And then out, we're getting 5 volts, which that sounds right. And that was powered off, but that shouldn't matter. In. Wait, power on. Oh yeah, no, it does matter. So yeah, and then power on, then in is coming, it's 8 volts coming in, and then 5 volts going out. I think it's working. Why is this not showing video now? Okay, let's see. Let me make sure I'm just not going crazy here. Yeah, it's not doing it. So we are getting power in. Actually, I'm going to see, hold on, what is this triad rated for? Because it's weird that only 8 volts are coming in. Yeah, no, 9 volt output. Okay, so this only, yeah, so the power supply is 9 volts. And that's kind of what we were getting at the power regulator. So let me try that again. Let's try that again. Let me zoom out. So we got the 3 poles here. We got ground in the middle, in, which is coming from the power supply, which is a 9 volt power supply. And we're getting, oops, let me turn it on. So we turn it on. And we're getting 8.2, so not quite 9, but that's fine. And then out, we're getting 5 volts. So it's definitely getting power. Now let me see what happens if I hit this reset button while it's on. That probably won't do anything. Yeah, I was hoping it would like turn it off or something. Huh. What's going on here? Yeah, no, it's not. This isn't an RF adapter, guys. Let me take this out. Actually, let me take this out. Let's do it again. Yeah, it should at least go, the screen should go dark. Yeah, I tried holding the reset button. That didn't do anything. And the power switch is working because obviously the regulator is getting power. Yeah, I'm at a loss, guys. I'm not really quite sure what it could be. So this is just the cartridge cleaner. I don't think that's it. I don't think it's a dirty cartridge slot. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm doing something very silly, and it's just not working because I'm forgetting something silly. That's my soldering iron. That is super weird, guys. Yeah, let me wiggle the AV. Nope, nothing with the AV. Yeah, let me remove it from the case. Good call. Ugh. Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe something's shorting on the bottom. I don't know what would be shorting. And is there a fuse on here? Maybe we blew a fuse somehow? Yeah, let me just take it out. Let's see here. Put all the screws here so I don't lose them. pull this out. Yeah, there's nothing really to short on the bottom, I don't think. AV connector, I mean, those joints look solid. Let me switch the angle here. The joints look extremely solid on this connector. I don't see any cracked joints here. Again, the board is not like bent or cracked, like, I mean, even though obviously there was a huge impact, but well, let's just try plugging it in with it outside the board. Switch. Nothing. Yeah, no, the AV cable is plugged in. Again, let me double check the input. I mean, it's composite. Should be composite. Go YPBPR, and then we'll go composite. Let me reset the tank. It shouldn't be, it can't be that. I can't believe it's, yeah, I don't know what would have went wrong, guys. That's really weird. Let's see. You know, I tried to see if I had a real power supply. I don't, unfortunately. Well, guys, that's discouraging. Yeah. I mean, as a last ditch, let's remove the reset button. Let's just see what happens. I got a bunch of them, so I can always put a new one on. But let's just remove it, see what that does. And, because really, it doesn't even really have to be installed to work. At least I don't think it does. So let's try and just remove that. Yeah, just for the heck of it. Yep, let's do it. Let's give that a shot. Okay, where did I put my chip quick? I thought I took a piece out. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Nothing's on the bottom. Oh, gotta turn my soldering iron on. There we go. All right. Let's get that in frame. Okay, this was very easy to take out. Where are my tweezers here? I'm gonna grab my tweezers. Basically now all I need to do is heat up each side. Just heat, 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 and heat. There we go. Easy peasy. Let's clean that up real quick. All right, so that's off. If this works, that'll be really, really weird. Like really weird. Get any residual solder out. All right, so we got our nice clean pads again. All right, nothing there. Now, let's go back to our capture card. Let's plug this back in. I might try a different connector. I really don't like this connector, but I'll show you why here in a second. But let me... Nope. That wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. Yeah, I can solder in the original one back in, but I really don't think that's the problem, guys. Yeah, because basically it connects this side to this. You can kind of see it here, the way this is working. Oops, not over the sink. Yeah, this is good. But basically, you can kind of see it here, how this works. Basically, these two pads. So these two pads are connected, and then these two pads are ground. And basically, the switch bridges both of these. I mean, even though it doesn't matter because these are connected and these are connected, but it bridges these, and that's what causes the reset. This pad, and that's what we were getting, even with this button. I thought that was wrong, but it was actually right, because I thought it was bridging from here to here, but no, it's bridging from here to here, or here to here, which is correct. So, with that being said, I don't know why this is not working. Now, the only other thing I did was I put the deoxit into the switch, which that doesn't matter because the switch is working because we were still getting power into the power regulator. And unfortunately, I really don't know what else to debug. So let me, other than maybe this connector or this. Oh, guys. Hold on. So this, yeah, this might be the issue, maybe. It might just be a bad connector, guys. Hold on a second. Were you guys getting sound? Because I'm looking at this. Yeah, I need to switch my lens here so you can get a close-up of this. I don't know if this is the issue. Yeah, actually, was there... actually, we can test that. If we're getting sound... There was no sound. Okay. All right, never mind. But if I go... I wonder if this is potentially the issue. If you look inside the connector here, you can see one of the pins is actually quite recessed. That one, you see that one pin? I can't believe that'll cause the issue. So that one pin looks pushed in a little bit further than the other, and that one looks fine too. But that one pin looks like it's a little bit too far in. I'm gonna see if I can pull it out a little bit. I don't think that's the issue, but oh yeah, guys, I pulled that way out. Look at that now. Yeah, now it's actually out further than the other one. I wonder if that was the issue, maybe. Yeah, okay, let's try it now. If this works, I'm gonna be a little bit mad because then I desoldered the button. But let's see if that. And I'm wondering if that was like that. That's what I was wondering, if maybe we were not getting. All right. let me switch the input. Nope. I was hoping, but that was not it. Oh, the rolling issue is a sync issue. Okay. Yeah, let me grab another cable. I mean, just to fully exhaust. Yeah, it kind of pushed it back in. Let me see. Do I have another? Nope. Let's see. Obviously, the Saturn input won't work. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna put a be right back here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can find another connector. Hey, does anybody know if the what do you call HD Retrovision cables, do those work with the Model 3? Because I have that, and I can maybe go real quick. Go to my room and pick it up real quick. Does anybody know? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go grab my, the only other cables, I could have sworn I had another set of Model 2 cables, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, so the only other Sega Genesis cables that I have are the RetroTink ones. Oh, not RetroTink, the HD Retrovision. Yeah, it's probably not the connector, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm bending the cable. Is it? Maybe it is a bad connector. Hold on, let's try that again. Basically, I'm like kind of pushing the connector towards the front of the console. And it did something weird. Okay, so it's doing something weird with the Elgato. Huh. Let me try and pushing it. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, it might just be the cable is not. Yeah, okay. No, I don't think it's a cold solder joint because I was looking, I mean, I'll reflow it. You hear crackling. Okay, so I was wiggling it. Let me go grab my HD Retrovision cable, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Just bear with me it's gonna take me about like 3 minutes to go grab it, so hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I had my HD Retrovision is usually connected to my Sega CDX, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to get out. Okay, so, oh hey, do you one who live 231? Thank you for the super chat. 1 hour restoration turns into a 6-month project. Hey, you know, hopefully that's not the case, but let's see if it's the cable. I gotta believe it's the cable. At least I'm hoping that's what it is. All right, so let's plug this in to the retro tank. I'm gonna unplug the old cable, plug in the new one. And audio. Okay, so we have that now plugged in. Ew, I don't want my phone to come out. All right, so that's the old cable. And I also brought a controller. Where did I put the receiver? This was the here it is. This is the controller that's also plugged into my CDX. So I'll just boop, plug that in. All right, moment of truth. Let's hope this works. I mean, also this connector goes in much smoother than the other. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, I gotta switch the input on the RetroTink. Ugh. We're gonna do, is it YPBPR, I believe? Yeah, so let's see. Can you believe that, guys? Are you, and also we don't have the rolling image. Huh. Oh my, okay, so that was a bad cable, obviously. Actually, maybe that's why it was doing the rolling, whatever. The rolling image was probably bad because of that. Okay, so this is working. Ah, jeez, wow. Can you believe, okay, so that cable is gonna go in the garbage. Let's see if it works. Yeah, the controller works. Yeah, everything works. Okay, let's, all right, so we know this works. Shut it off. Okay, so we're gonna resolder. I'm gonna put in a new switch because this one is kind of melty. And yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I was like, how we didn't do anything that would have like shorted anything out, or you know, I can't. And oh, okay, now let's see if the power switch, I mean, it should work. It functions the same as the other, so we'll solder it on real quick. Let me change the angle here. It's like I knew that it couldn't have been that. Ugh. All right, let me make sure we're focused. Yeah, right there. So we're gonna put the switch. A little blurry. There we go. Okay. Let's get a new one. Actually, I put on the macro lens so you can get a little bit better view of how I install it. Okay, soldering irons on, fume extractor on, tweezers. Where are the tweezers? Right here. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and put that into place. Okay, so that's nice and lined up. And all I'm gonna do, no flux needed because there's flux already embedded within the solder, which usually does the job more than ample. Okay, we're gonna let that, okay, that's tacked in. It actually didn't move, so we're good. I'm gonna put in the other side. It looks like it's nice and aligned. Beautiful. We'll put in this side right here. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do it at an angle that's not very good. Oh, come on. There we go. And then the last leg right here, I'm actually gonna put some flux in here and clean it up. Just slightly. Because yeah, it's not as clean as I'd like it to be. Let me get a better angle on this. There we go, beautiful, 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 and beautiful. Solid, okay. Now let's do the test. Let me clean the area real quick. I can't believe it was the gosh darn cable, y'all. My goodness, story of my life, you know? Story of my life. Okay, so that's in there, solid. And, oh yeah, and let me show you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, because I think maybe the button is just a little too short. I'm going to maybe glue. I don't know if glue is the right thing. Maybe I'll use double-sided tape to give it a little bit added height. But I'm going to put this on top. Let me show you here, because I think this was on top of the other one. Yeah. This little thing right here. So I think it was like, oops. That's going to be challenging to put on, but I think it was like on top of the dome, like that, giving it a little bit extra height. And basically, you know, it would push the button like that. Oops. But anyway, we'll take care of that. I'm basically just going to put a piece of double-sided tape, because that's what it looks like how the other one was held on. So anyway, let's test it first. Absolutely. All right, let's make sure the function of resetting works now that we have a quality cable in there. All right, let's turn it on. Let me get my controller plugged in. Not that we need it, but all right, so it works still, good. Okay, we're there. Let's go through start. So we're actually in game, and then we'll reset it. Okay, so now I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna push it with a spudger. And let's see if it resets. 1, 2, and, 1, 2, and 3. It works, guys. It works perfect. Oh, there we go. Boom, reset. Boom, reset. Works like a charm, guys. Works like a charm. Okay. Great, so we know it works. I'm gonna put some double-sided tape onto that dome. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Where did I put? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Just a little piece of double-sided tape, and this is like a pretty strong. This is this Scotch guard or Scotch double-sided, whatever it's called. And I'm just gonna cut a little square. And place it right on there. And it's just enough to keep the button on there, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to use glue because I'm afraid the glue might mess with the, what do you call it? The dome switch. It might change the properties a little bit and not let it actuate well. Okay, yeah, that's a small piece. That's a small enough piece. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. All right, so I cut this little square piece, and I need to figure a way to have it so it basically just stays right on top. Okay, there we go. So it's just like that. And then I'm gonna basically just very delicately place this right on in the middle. It's got to be smack dab in the middle. Kind of like that. Set it in. I'm going to give it a few taps in there just to make sure it's set. There we go. So I think that's good. So you can see I'm moving it around, it's not going anywhere. So it's a pretty solid piece of double-sided tape, but that gives it just a little bit of height so that I think we can probably, the actual reset button can reach it now. So let's put this thing back together. All right, so we can go here. Okay. And then we're gonna put that in. One thing I kind of want to check is I wonder if the controller, once I connect the motherboard into the shell, I want to see if the controller fits into the player 2 port, because that was kind of like the damaged one. So that image was actually pretty clean, I think. Going through the HD Retrovision. Pretty impressive. All right, let's see if, since we kind of fixed that little shroud, and hey, fits in perfect. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so let's put this shield back on. And let's screw it in. The one concerning thing is that hole might be a little bit difficult for a screw to go through. All right, let's see if the reset button now kind of works. I still don't feel it. I think it's still not as straight as it needs to be. Yeah. Let's see, let's try it again. Yeah, I just don't think it's the little thing. I don't think it's just long enough, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. If I can't get this to work, guys, I'm just gonna call it, at least for now. But we're almost there. It's I feel like it's. I mean, you can see it's pretty straight. Let me change the angle here for y'all, so y'all can see what I'm doing. But basically, I really want to get this post nice and straight. It was way more crooked, but I'm basically heating it with hot air and then trying to re-straighten it. So let's see. Get on the other side as well. So I'm using about 120 degrees Celsius, and should be enough just to kind of soften the plastic a little bit, so we can try and bend it. I'm going to increase the flow here a little bit. not sure if I'm making like a big difference, but I mean, let me change the angle. Let's see, how straight does that look? I don't know if you can see it. It's a little crooked, and I wonder if just that little bit of like crookedness is causing it. Yeah, the video, we got the video working now, so we're good in that front. Now it's just a matter of trying to get the reset switch to work. And if I can't get it to work, let's see. Actually, it might be pressing now. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. I don't think it is doing it, but it kind of feels like maybe it just might be. So let's plug it in. Retro tank, power on. Okay, we got the Sega, yeah. And let's see, pressing reset. No, I thought it was pushing it, it's not. I mean, at least the reset button moves. It just unfortunately is not reaching the, I think I could, I mean, it's an easy fix. I just need to get that post a little bit longer, so. That's all it is. The button itself, I mean, you saw it before. It was way worse than what it is now. Oh, so the video, I think it was just a bad cable, to be honest. That the rolling whatever, someone was saying it's most likely due to a sync issue, which I guess maybe could be from bad contact. I don't know. But it works perfect, as you can see, with the HD Retrovision cables. But, you know, I mean, at least everything is clean. We kind of fixed the banged up RF shielding as best as we can. I mean, now it's, I mean, you still see the dent, but it's much straighter than it was before. We fixed the reset button, kind of, but this little post here on this, on the button itself, is a little bit too, a little too bent, which I think is reducing the length of it. So it's just not reaching the, it's just not reaching. I mean, we fixed that significantly. It was super, I mean, see how it's still bent? I almost just want to break it off and put like a new post on there. It's like almost. And the other thing that's hard, I don't know if it was like at an angle slightly or if it was straight down, because right now it's perpendicular. We've made it pretty much perpendicular to the reset button. Yeah, no, yeah. We basically the method I ended up using was just heating up the plastic using my hot air, and very gently bending it back. And it, for the most part, worked pretty well. Honestly, I was kind of shocked. So I'm just kind of trying to bend it more. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, pull it to give it a little bit of length. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let me. I'm wondering how that would even feel. Yeah, I mean, I could feel it. It's such a small target. That's the other problem. The button is so small. So it really has to be aligned like perfectly. Which is a shame. Yeah, and honestly, the best thing would be a brand new button, but I like to keep it as original as possible. Yeah, if someone had like a 3D print, I could maybe just 3D print the whole button, but just cut this old post out and glue the new one in or something. Or maybe even just extend the bottom of this somehow, build up the material. Actually, you know what? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna melt it a little bit with my soldering iron. This is kind of drastic. Oh wow, that's actually kind of working. Wow, it smells really, really bad. I don't recommend doing that. But I actually was able to sort of reinforce an area that looked really, really weak. Oh yeah, I think that really strengthened it. Okay, let's see here. Nope. Oh, I just cleaned it already. I just used my sponge, the metal sponge cleaner. Cleans it perfect, so it's a very clean tip. I don't usually like doing that. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. I just wanted to see if I could extend it slightly. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what's misaligned. Oh, actually, guys, hey, I think it's kind of working. Okay, hold on, let's see. I mean, I don't know how, it may be just temporary, but let's see if, I think I got the reset button kind of working. Maybe the soldering iron did the trick. Okay, so that's on. Okay, and let's see if we can, once we get to a different screen. All right, let's see. If you kind of push it a certain, oh, there we go. If you push it a certain way, you can get it. It's not perfect. Yeah, okay, it kind of works now. Okay, all right. Let's leave it at that. Let's screw it back together. Now, of course, I can only use, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me see here. I mean, this is kind of taboo. I don't know if this is like a good thing to do, but it might work actually. Since I did melt the plastic on this a little bit, I wonder if I can melt the post back on. Let's give that a try. I actually haven't really done that before. And you would think it would be like a slightly better connection than glue. Now I have to be careful because I don't want to melt through. Now the question is, how am I going to actually have it so it's perfectly, I can kind of see, let me see here. I can kind of see a little bit, let me see if I can brighten that a little bit. It's about as bright as it gets, guys. I think it was, you can kind of, okay, yeah. So it was kind of like this. That was the angle it was in. So I need to be able to hold it at that angle. And the way I'm going to try and do that is with some tape. I just need it slightly held in place. Yeah, it's not probably the best, but this is like a pretty bad condition, you know. It's not in the best condition, so I'm not like too worried about it being in absolutely the best condition possible. So I can kind of see, yeah, where the, oh, I almost had it. I can kind of see where the break happened. So if I can just kind of match it up, have the tape semi-hold it in place. There we go. I think it was basically right there, kind of like that. All right, let's see here. It's going to be, I'm doing this with my left hand, which is also not very good. Okay, wow. That actually, oh, did I switch angles? That actually, hold on. Actually kind of worked pretty well. It's kind of in there barely. I just kind of tacked it in with my iron. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I tacked it in one side. Now I'm going to kind of go around. I'm actually going to remove this button so it gets out of the way. But it's not bad, actually. Yeah, it does not smell pleasant. But I'm not melting a ton. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you how I'm doing it. Again, I don't recommend this, and also I have my fume extractor right here, so. But basically I'm just kind of touching it. Touch, 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 just like that. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to give you a good angle because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. It's right here. Let me refocus it a little bit. But you can kind of see I'm kind of like doing little splices. Ooh, jeez. Touch, touch. Just kind of like that. Actually feels pretty good. Not bad. I'm actually kind of impressed by this. Where is it? Let me see, right here. I'm gonna come at it again from slightly inside here. Yeah, and actually, you don't see anything on the other side. Clean. That's actually, it's not too bad. And here's, you can see the tip of the iron. You can see it's actually pretty clean. I just cleaned it off with, yeah, not bad. Don't recommend it, but actually, I don't know how structurally sound that is, but I'm moving around my finger, and it's, if I'm just like very careful with screwing it in, I think I might be good. I just hope it aligns. That's the one thing I'm worried about. If it might not align, and that would be a problem. But actually, let's see if it aligns. It might not align. That could be an issue. Oh wait, we got to put the reset button back in. Let me switch the angle up. Yeah, so I can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't look like it's perfectly angled. Yeah, I could put some super glue. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll come back to it like later. But let's try to get it in there for now. Okay, it feels like it's aligned. It's closing. It's flush. I'm going to put in all the other screws first. I'm going to do that one last. And I'm going to put in each screw loose. So not like super tight. Actually, I need to use this screwdriver, because this one has the length I need. We're going to reverse thread. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Gotta get that in there. Reverse thread until, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, that's in there nice. I'm going to do the opposite side. Yeah, this counter threading isn't working as well as I would like it. I'm tightening these a little bit tighter than I probably need to for now. Okay, so we're doing that side last. Yeah, for whatever reason, this isn't really letting me do that sort of counter clockwise and then letting it slot into the thread. All right, let's see here. Moment of truth. I don't think this is gonna. Let me use this screw because this one is a little bit shallower. But yeah, I don't know if the post is lined up, guys. Oh wait. Yeah, I don't think the post is lined up. Yeah, I don't feel it going into anything. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm, yeah, I don't think that screw, let me screw that side in first maybe then. I'm gonna loosen all these other sides. Yeah, let me see if I can maybe see. Yeah, I can kind of see. So I'm cracking it a little bit, so I'm going to see if the screw can go through. Let me put this screw on the... Try to see if I can align it. Actually, let me take these other screws a little bit further out. Oh, that's too much. Oh yeah, I think it's way out of alignment actually. That's way out of alignment. I don't think I'll be able to, it'll probably break the post if I try to screw it in. All right, I think I got it. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, it broke. The post broke. Okay. All right, so this is obviously not really gonna work. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so basically, we're only gonna be using 3 screws, guys. Which isn't bad. We're still in a lot better shape than it was before. Yeah, maybe some like JB weld. The hardest part is making sure that it's, the trick actually might be to screw the post in and then just add JB weld on the back and then just put it together. I might do that actually. Yeah. Oh, power button's not aligned. But, yeah. But yeah, this is a good candidate for some sort of mod. Yeah, I think people triple bypass this, and you can even get it so it works with a 32X. So definitely going to do something with this. Again, shout out to the folks over at the Computer Museum for giving this to me. Pretty cool little, I kind of like it. It's really cute. It's just a really nerfed Genesis. And someone said, I didn't know that, but someone said that it also has mono audio only, which is that kind of sucks. But I'm sure there's probably a mod to fix that as well. Yeah. Put that screw last. Oh, what am I doing? Putting this the wrong side. There we go. Put on this side. Okay, so for the most part, we got a much cleaner, kind of working Model 3. Let's make sure it kind of still works. Probably does, but just want to make sure. And we were trying Shinobi. Okay, so power's on. That's great. Put the, let's see, is this player one? Yeah, player one here. Yeah, so the video is pretty good. Not too bad. All right. And let me just check real quick if the reset works. Yeah, it's kind of No. Button probably got misaligned again. Oh, there it goes. Oh, actually, maybe you just got to push it really hard. Huh. Yeah, you just got to push the button really hard. Okay. You can tell it's mono because the audio is only... Okay, so yeah, it's mono audio, but... Anywho. All right, well, that was kind of the easy stream today. Just wanted to clean this up, at least get it ready for a mod. I might try to fix the reset button a little bit better, and I would like to get this post screwed back in. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to probably screw it in with the top off, put some JB weld on there, install the top, and so the JB weld will contact the top shell, let it cure, or maybe just forget about it, and then hopefully it'll be strong enough to, you know, hold it. Not that I'm going to be tearing this down a lot, but it's usually nice to have a fully working, you know, console. And I think, you know, we were able to fix a few things. Obviously, the shell was, I mean, and the video was probably never bad. It was probably just the bad cable. But obviously, it was really, really dirty, so we fixed that. The shell was, you can go back, if you guys are coming in late, but if you come early into the stream, this whole thing was like crooked. Like the top shell was here, bottom shell was here, and there was just a lot of damage. And then the internal RF shield, the top one at least, had a pretty solid dent in it, so we fixed that as best we could. But really, it was just a cleanup job. Probably we'll do a recap on this at some point, and then definitely want to do like some sort of triple bypass or something to... actually, one thing I do want to test before we go, I got the EverDrive right here. I imagine the Sega CD probably doesn't work. Wait, Sega CD, I think, yeah, because I have the EverDrive Pro. So let's see here. I think I have Sega CD games on here. Oh, does the EverDrive Pro just not work on a Model 3? Oh, okay, no, it does work. Okay. Sega CD, let's see if we can get... Okay. All right, so... Oh, dude, that's sick. Okay, so yeah, the Model 3 does support the EverDrive Pro. So we can play... Yeah, okay. Oh, that's sweet. All right, so we can... So, yeah, it's like basically having a Sega CD in a super small... Okay, hold on. Yeah, in a super small package. Now, 32X I don't think works. We'll try that out in a second. All right, let's try the reset. Okay, so reset does kind of work. Let me try 32X. If 32X, yeah, okay, so obviously it requires the add-on, but the add-on doesn't work on these, so, okay, all right. Oh, I have no CD audio, okay, all right, interesting. But, okay, guys, well, I mean, I think this was pretty successful. So just for folks who are aware, so the way my streaming, I'm gonna probably publish this somewhere. I think Twitch has like a way of publishing a schedule, but basically every 4 weeks, or I guess every 3 weeks on that fourth week, I'm gonna kind of dedicate to streaming. So basically 3 streams a month in that 1 week. So the next, I guess the next stream would be on the week of, so let's see here, we did it on the week of the 9th, so 1, 2, 3, so it'll be on the 6th of April would be the next time I stream. So just for those that are interested, that's the schedule. I'll basically be doing it, yeah, it's 1 week a month, but 3 days within that week. And trying to do this, keep it regular, and it's gonna be stuff like this, just projects that I really don't have time to do, you know, by itself. Kind of doing it on the stream is like sort of hitting like a couple birds with one stone. So, but that's the idea, and definitely appreciate you all tuning in. Yeah, definitely plan to do more of this. So, all right. Well, this is kind of a decent stream. I think we started at 3. We started at 3 o'clock, so 3-hour stream. A little bit longer than I was planning because we ran into a few hiccups. It was just the cable, but yeah, no. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I'll probably, yeah, actually, I do have a WonderSwan video planned. Some of you may have seen not my tweet, but I retweeted ManCloud64. He has a pretty cool WonderSwan video coming up. So, yeah, so fantastic. All right, hey, 3 p.m. in Arizona. Fantastic. All right, guys, you all have a great weekend. I'll see you next Friday, I have my next video coming out. I'm actually pretty excited about it. It's not really video game related, but it's kind of like in the same, it's retro tech. I think it's pretty cool. I've been following this project for definitely over a year, maybe over 2 years. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that video. It's coming out this coming up Friday, next Friday of next week. And yeah, again, y'all have a good weekend and talk to you later.